Some might say I put down my emotions. I don't know if that's completely true. Certainly it must have been in some respect. And that popped up again when I was a 16-year-old kid asking my mother, how bad could I be? Why would you reject me, your only son? I had to accept that. And that actually was really empowering. I didn't have a choice, but I was able early to understand what attachment and how I can disattach. And that was very helpful to me throughout my life, because doing humanitarian work, if I had bias, or if I came into this sensation of empathy, I might not be able to do my job. Even though people would tell me their stories and I could feel compassion for that, I don't have so much empathy. I can't feel that. I can't feel what they're experiencing. And for me, that is, I have later learned the difference between empathy and compassion. My way of being able to disattach from other people's suffering put me in a better position to be able to do my job. I am truly a product of yoga, and this stronger, more flexible, more empathetic individual is it comes from yoga. So from that, I've been working with other people, training people. More than 8 years I've been training people how to be yoga teachers, but working for my teacher or with my teacher, working for other organizations. And it got to a point where a dear friend and sister who I'd been teaching with for a couple of years, we really understand each other, said, well, why don't we create something, but something a little bit different, something with a little greater depth that we've been experiencing ourselves with other schools. And so we created a project, Moksha. Moksha is liberation, and it's about being really passionate about the philosophy and practice of yoga as a tool of transformation. Not necessarily train people to be yoga teachers, though that is there if that's what people's intention is, but to give them a foundation of yoga to understand themselves better, as it helped both of us. But what I experienced and still today, still learning, is the philosophy of yoga underpins everything. The philosophy of yoga has given me tools to help diagnose what's happening inside of me, both emotionally and physically and spiritually, and to give me the tools to be able to move out of whatever wounds that there are around that. So it's given me very practical as well as philosophical foundations and structure. From that, I've traveled around the world and was teaching yoga in the Republic of Georgia, and teaching yoga in Bangladesh, and teaching yoga in other places that I worked in my life, trying to extricate me from my humanitarian career. Trying to find healthy male role models has been really challenging for me. I have not. In the military, the men, when I became an army officer, the men I'd looked up to before, senior officers, I no longer respected them, because all I saw was bravado and what I saw as misuse of power. But that's because of what the military training is, the military structure, and it needs to be. When I broke free of the military structure, I recognized more equality in men. It's men who make decisions and actions of violence, generally. It's men whose brittle egos make decisions that react negatively, destructively on whole communities, whole nations. generations. That unhealthy masculine, the toxic masculinity, the misogyny, the ability to see difference, this necessity that you are lesser than me, you are different than me. And yoga explains to me that that's just not true. We're all the same. My humanitarian career helping me to understand that it doesn't matter what environment I was in, people who have survived, they want the same thing. They want to be safe. I can support some people in being safe, the same way I try to support my partner in being safe. Different connotations of the term safety, but it's the same thing. It's how can I be loved and vulnerable and held in a world that seems really dangerous and unsafe.